Welcome.
Hello.
Hi. Hello. Welcome.
Hi.
Please take a seat.
How are you?
Good.
Good. That's good to hear.
Hello. Thank you for joining us. Are we all ready to begin?
So,
Awesome. So welcome. My name is Brittany. I will be the facilitator for this conference. So today we have here Emma as well as Constable Ristic, who are victims in this situation, as well as Mrs. Kube and Madeline, to discuss the situation of setting off fireworks in Abbotsford Middle School. Today we're not here to discuss Madeline's behavior specifically, but more or less to talk about how her actions and behaviors have affected other people. So I would just like to get started off by talking to Madeline. Do you want to just explain to us what you were thinking and during the situation when everything was going down?
yeah, so I guess it all really started when I was home alone the night before and I found all our fireworks in my garage. I invited a bunch of my friends over to come see them and maybe set them off outside, but no one could come over. So I just thought I could bring them to school the next day and then show people at school.
Okay. Is that what you told police, or what exactly did you tell the police when they talked to you about it?
Yeah, I told them that I thought it would be funny and entertaining to show everyone at the school. I just really didn't think of the consequences.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that with us, Maddie, kind of giving us a little bit of insight onto how you were feeling during the whole thing. I would like to kind of switch gears and focus on how it has impacted other people. So are there anybody in particular that you think it has impacted at all?
Yes, I really do think it impacted a lot of people at the school, especially Emma here. I didn't really think about how people would react to the sounds of the fireworks in the school. I know that the teachers had to really look out for their students because no one really knew what was going on. The police were also called, and I know that the custodians would have had to clean up the mess that I caused in the school.
Okay. Well, thank you for acknowledging those people, and I'm sure they would appreciate that. And how exactly do you think some of these people would have been impacted by what had happened? Is there like anything you can think of that would have, or how they would have been feeling at all?
Yeah, so I know that a lot of the students, when they heard the loud bangs, they really had no idea what was going on. They were just in class, and I guess they would have heard my fireworks and probably thought it was some pretty scary stuff happening, like, who knows, like gunshots. I know it affected a lot of the students in that way, and I know it affected the police because when they got a phone call saying that there were loud bangs at the school and what sounded like gunshots, they really had to go in, and they weren't expecting what they were going to walk into. I know that it really wasted their time and really it was actually a really big deal to a lot of people.
Okay. Thank you for sharing all that and really thinking about how your actions have impacted people. I do want to ask Emma here to share how the whole situation has impacted her, and for you to really get a grasp on how much it has affected her life. So Emma, if you'd like to share with us about how this has impacted you.
I was very scared. I didn't know what was happening at all, and I just heard like loud noises, and I thought it was someone with a gun because of everything that's been happening in the States. And I just heard like really loud screaming and people like were running, and then the ceiling started falling around me, and I was just like thought I was gonna die, and I'm still scared of like that day.
Thank you for sharing that with us, Emma. I can only imagine how hard things must have been for you. As you can hear, Maddie, sometimes our actions impact people in ways that we can't even begin to think of. So we just are going to focus on that today. Emma, is there anything else you'd like to add before we move forward?
Because of what happened, it made it really hard for me to go back to school. And I had to switch schools and make new friends. And it was not like a joke as you thought it was. And hearing loud noises still freaks me out because of what happened.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Emma. And we will get to Constable Ristic, but before we talk to Constable Ristic, I would like to just talk to Mrs. Kube and kind of get your take on how this whole thing has impacted you and what your thoughts are on it.
Okay, well, when I first found out about this, I was quite upset and mad. She's never acted out in this ruthless way, never seen her do this stuff before. Sometimes I thought I may have put that on her. She may have acted out because of me. I was pretty embarrassed when everyone found out, my neighbors, my family, so that was hard to deal with. I never even knew the fireworks were in the garage in the first place, so that's also something.
Yep. Okay. Thank you for sharing that with us, Mrs. Kube.
Yeah.
And like I said, we'd like to hear from Constable Ristic about how this whole situation has impacted you and maybe some of the people around you.
This incident affected my team as well as myself in many forms and many ways. We have received a bunch of calls regarding the situation and had various stories that were given to us from like the victims and the teachers and the principals and all of them. Some people indicated that the fireworks being set off in the school, but also reported the sounds of a fire going off. Due to multiple different reports, we were very unsure of what we were walking into, and I was very concerned for like my team's safety walking into the situation. In regards, we ended up using like a lot of money due to the precautions that we had to take to ensure like the safety of everyone within the school and the safety within my team as well.
Awesome. Thank you very much, because I'm sure Maddie didn't even recognize that would even be an issue at all before her actions. So Maddie, now that you've heard kind of from everyone, is there anything that you would like to say in general or say to anyone in particular here today?
I just really want to generally say I'm very sorry to everyone who's affected by this.
Okay. And how about you look at Emma to start and talk to her and tell her how you feel about this situation now?
Well, first, Emma, I'm really sorry about what I did to you. I can't imagine what you would have been thinking at that moment. I know that it caused you a lot of trauma, and I really did mean it as a joke, but that was in no way a joke. I'm very sorry, Emma. Once again, I can't even imagine what the loud sounds must have sounded like. I really can understand how they sounded like gunshots. I'm very sorry, Emma.
Okay. And do you want to address Constable Ristic and tell her how you feel now?
Yeah. I'm very sorry that I had to do this to you and your detachment and the whole police service. I know that you guys had to come into this call without realizing what you were stepping into, and I know you got a lot of calls saying that it was gunshots or it sounded like gunshots. Once again, I'm very sorry. I'll make sure I'll never make this mistake again. I really thought of it as a joke, but I know that was far from a joke. Very sorry about using your team's resources and just causing all this stress and honestly just wasting your time.
Thank you.
Awesome. And is there anything you'd like to say to your mom?
Yeah, I'm very sorry, Mom. I know that this looks so bad on our family, and I just am causing a lot of stress to you and our whole household. I'll really try to smarten up. I really meant it as a joke. I won't do anything like this again. I'm sorry.
Perfect. I'm proud of you for kind of making progress throughout this whole conference, Maddie. I think we really have come a long way through this whole discussion. However, isn't quite over yet. We do have one last thing to address, and that's kind of just, I would like to hear from Emma, Constable Ristig, and Mrs. Kube on what else you might like to see come out of this whole conference. So let's start with you, Emma.
Honestly, I came here today thinking I was going to ask a lot from you, Madeline, but maybe like, I don't know, 100 community service hours and a 6-month curfew or something, but honestly, I don't want anything more except than an apology letter for what you did and promising that you'll never do anything like this again.
I understand.
Do you think that's something you'd be able to do and would be okay with doing, Maddie?
Yeah, definitely.
Ms. Kube, do you have anything that you'd like to add that you would like to see as a result of this conference?
Well, I agree with the letter, but maybe helping around the school for a couple weeks, like after classes, just to give back to the community, like at the school somehow.
Awesome. Yeah. Does that sound about fair?
Yeah,
Emma?
I completely get that.
Okay, awesome. Constable Ristig, do you have anything that you would like to add to see come about this?
I agree with what's been said. I like the idea of the apology letter, and I do like the idea of the community service. It gives Madeline a chance to give back to her community, give back to the school, and show everyone that she learned from her mistake rather than walking away without a punishment. I also agree that this could help understand what the conference is for my detachment personally and the police service as well. Understanding the toll it takes on Emma and Miss Cube, and I also think that Maddie will learn her lessons throughout life, and that she'll take this and understand the effects everyone went through.
Perfect. Yeah, I really agree with everyone. I think that's fair, and I hope, from the sounds of it, Maddie thinks it's fair as well. So I would say, yeah, just the apology letters to Emma as well as Constable Ristig and her detachment, and maybe 60 hours of community service, helping around your school, trying to just tidy up and that kind of stuff. And before we leave here, I'd just like to set some deadlines to try and make sure those obligations are followed. So Maddie, how long do you think it would take you to write those letters?
Well, honestly, I could probably get them done tonight.
Okay, perfect. That sounds great. However, just in case something comes up or something happens, we'll give you 3 days. Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome. And Mrs. Kube, as a supporter of Madeline here today, can I count on you to really make sure those letters get done?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes,
Perfect.
and just the emailing address where we can send the letters.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I will include that in the agreement that I will write up and we'll sign here in a minute. And everybody will get a copy of that agreement before we leave here today. And yeah, I think that's pretty much concludes everything here today. So I really do appreciate everybody's participation in our conference today, because without everybody here, this wouldn't have been possible. And I really think we had a positive outcome today, and that we did make a lot of progress and a lot of headway, and hopefully we don't have to come back here again.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you, everyone, for accepting my apology, and I really will do anything to make this better. Yeah, thank you, and I'm sorry once again.
Thank you very much, Maddie.
Thank you.
The 3 main goals of restorative justice are as follows. Restorative justice provides victims with an opportunity to tell their story, address the harm caused, and find answers to questions that are important to them. Restorative justice provides offenders with an opportunity to take responsibility for their actions and to be held accountable by those they harmed. Restorative justice empowers communities to gain a better understanding of the root causes of crime and allow the community to express and reduce its fears. Today, the participants of the circle are signing an agreement to ensure these 3 goals.